Medieval castles served three purposes. They were a defense against invaders, a symbol of the ruler's power, and a home for the nobility. Most castles were built in the 14th century, when warfare was common between kings and queens, dukes and duchesses, and even lords and ladies. Castles provided safety from siege warfare, which was common at the time. While an invading army would have no problem scaling the castle walls, they would be stopped by one of the most common defensive measures, the moat. Often filled with water, this wide and deep ditch forced invaders to find another way in or retreat. Sometimes a wooden drawbridge would be lowered to allow passage over the moat, but it could just as easily be pulled up and locked in place, forcing invaders to go around the castle. Even if they managed to get past the moat, invaders would still have to contend with the castle's high and thick walls, which were designed to withstand cannon fire. Its arrow slits allowed archers to shoot their enemies without being exposed to incoming arrows themselves. Some castles even had hidden passageways that connected to nearby buildings, allowing the residents to escape on foot if all else failed. But while the castle's defenses were designed to keep out unwanted guests, those who lived in the castle didn't spend all their time worrying about an invasion. Lords and ladies enjoyed a privileged life, had plenty of servants to help them with daily tasks, and were free to pursue their own interests. Many castles even had their own chapel, allowing priests to conduct services for the lord and his family. The lord of the castle was often a wealthy landowner, and his wife, the lady, helped him manage his estate. Together they held parties and feasts, inviting fellow nobles to celebrate special occasions or simply enjoy good food and drink. Knights were also part of life in a medieval castle. While some were employed by a lord to protect his land and family, others were members of the royal court. Depending on their rank and position, knights might be required to train and drill, go on quests, or serve as ambassadors to other courts. Outside the castle walls, there was a hierarchy of servants. Cooks prepared meals for the lord and his family, while others cleaned the rooms and took care of the animals. Blacksmiths were also needed to maintain the castle's weapons and armor. In addition to the servants, there were also people living in the castle who were not employed by the lord, such as merchants and traders. These people provided the castle with goods and services that the lord's servants could not, such as food, clothing, and tools. Peasants also lived within the castle walls. They were the lowest class of medieval society and worked long hours for little pay. Many peasants were employed to take care of the castle and its grounds, while others worked in agriculture to provide food for the people living in the castle. Life in a medieval castle was not without its perks, though. For example, the castle's kitchens often had a variety of foods available, including bread, cheese, meat, and fruit. This was a rare luxury for the time period, as most people had to grow their own food or rely on the generosity of others. There were also plenty of opportunities for entertainment in a medieval castle. Servants and peasants alike could attend feasts and celebrations, and there was always the chance that a traveling performer would come to town and put on a show. While life in a medieval castle may seem like a dream to some, it was not without its drawbacks. Castles were often dirty and unsanitary, and disease was rampant. There was no running water or proper sewage system, so waste would often pile up and stink. This made it easy for diseases like typhoid and dysentery to spread. And with so many people living in close quarters, it was not uncommon for a sickness to spread quickly through the population. Medicine was not advanced during the medieval period, so there was not much that could be done to treat these diseases. Despite the difficulties, life in a medieval castle was an experience unlike any other. From the privilege of the nobility to the hard work of the peasants, there were many different ways to live.